sports is providing opportunities for teeming youth in Nigeria to discover their talents. However, despite the teeming youth population and talents available, the majority of these youth hardly have the opportunity to showcase their talents or advance professionally. This is the opportunity grassroots discovery of women in sports is giving to women to get trained in basketball, swimming, football, handball, gymnastics, among others. This is courtesy of Tracy McQuarrie, founder Tracy McQuarrie Foundation, and Miss, founder Miss Amnesty Nigeria, all with a view to providing opportunities and empowering women in sports through Catch Them Young initiative. This will be our focus on Nigeria Today. Thanks for joining us. I am Ikaria Clinton. Now, joining us for this conversation is Tracy McQuarrie. She's the CEO, Tracy McQuarrie Foundation, and founder, Miss Amnesty Nigeria. You're welcome to Nigeria Today.
Thank you.
Also with us in the studio is Joseph Al-Hassan Nbago. He's the lead coach of the program. You're welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Now tell us, Tracy, tell us all about this Catch Them Young that you're doing right now, with young girls.
Okay. Once again, thank you so much for having me in your studio. The Tracy McQuarrie Foundation is a non-governmental organization worried about the plight of the girl child in the society. We are focused on women empowerment, lifting women off the street, engaging them on different skills acquisition, so that tomorrow there will be future role models that the country would be proud of them. So the grassroots discovery of women in sports is another community engagement to discover young talents, catch them young. The sports program, now we're focused on basketball competition. So you all know the game of basketball competition has an advantage. Height is an advantage. A physical endowment, the interest, the potentials. So we are focused on basketball now.
Okay, now I know you've been a former face of Igbere.
Yes. And
also former Miss Abia, as well as Miss NYSC 2014 Batch B.
Yes.
Former beauty pageant, So
correct.
Why did you veer into sports?
Okay, my passion for humanity and my love for sports inspired me and also motivated me to come up with grassroots discovery of women in sports. While growing up, I have always loved sports. My dad bought me shot to play football in school. Yes, and I also played football in secondary school. But I didn't get much encouragement and support to actually continue my sporting activities, because one of the objectives of this program is to change the perspective by which women view sports. It's not just for men, it's also for women, creating equal opportunities for women too to engage in sporting activities. So I got inspired during my childhood playing football, but when you don't have anyone encouraging you and supporting you to move on with your passion, you get discouraged on the way. So my second passion is my love for humanity. I am a humanitarian. I loved lifting women. I loved encouraging women, mentoring women, giving them hope. That is my inspiration and motivation to come up with grassroots discovery of women in sports.
Later we'll come back to you talk about women. Also, why? Okay, but before we come to that, now let's come to Al-Hassan Nbago. Now, talk to us. What has the experience been like? Being the lead coach of this program.
It's been, first of all, thank you for having me. It's been a wonderful experience as a professional in the game of basketball before I turned coach. What she said is what we have been suffering in Nigeria. A lot of people don't have the opportunity to be scouted or to be seen, so that their talent to be properly discovered and harnessed for them to take it to the highest level they wish to. A lot of people are in some places that they cannot even be reached. Some don't have the opportunity to even be seen. So programs like this will give those kind of people the opportunity to be discovered and be nurtured properly, to have the opportunity to get to the highest level of whatever they want to attain in sport, in basketball particularly.
Now, I would have loved to ask you this question, but all the same, I'll still go with the question.
Okay.
You know, what do you think generally about this program? Talking about, you know, lifting women, because I thought probably it would have been maybe a female coach or something, but you chose a male coach, which is also very good. So, what do you think generally about the program?
Yes, my choice is because generally I coach women too.
Oh.
And I'm also into encouraging women to do sport, particularly basketball, because like we normally say, men have more opportunities than women in sport. So I am moved by that passion to give women more attention so that their level of opportunity also come up a bit to that of men. That is one of the reasons.
Now, Tracy, tell us, who are your target beneficiaries, you know, in this program?
Okay, we are, like you already mentioned, catch them young. So we're looking at young girls from the ages of 15 to 23. In the game of basketball, age is very important. So that's why we want to harness their talents at a very young age. So we are looking at going to secondary schools to do an awareness campaign. Somebody can be tall and they won't even know they have an opportunity to play basketball. So as much as they may not even have an idea, we have to educate them and tell them the benefits of playing basketball.
Okay, are you looking at are you concentrating on the rural areas or the urban areas?
According to the team, grassroots discovery of women in sports, a community engagement. So we are going to Abuja and its environs. And we're also going to other Niger Delta states and Northeast states, the crisis regions.
Okay, so how do you intend to fund this program?
That's a very good question. It's going to cost us a lot because it's a huge project. Because we're not only focusing on Abuja, we're focusing on Niger Delta states and Northeast states, which is the crisis regions. We have already started our consultations with Niger Delta stakeholders, with international corporations, and NGOs. So we are actually hopeful. Let's say we get sponsorship from the NDDC. Of course, we'll go down to Niger Delta. We'll go down to Delta State and replicate what we're already doing in Abuja in Delta State. Even a Presidential Amnesty Office. These are agencies for empowering Niger Deltans. If we get sponsorship there, we'll go down and replicate what we're doing in Abuja. We're kicking off in Abuja because this is where we are. It's easier for us to go to these schools. Just like I mentioned, we'll be going to secondary school, so we'll be needing a vehicle to convey these young girls from the schools to the training grounds. So it's going to cost us a lot. Even the training, sometimes they might even be in camp. Even after the training, we need to give them something to wash their sports kits so that they will look clean the next day, because the game of basketball requires consistent training. As much as one of the benefits is mental fitness, another benefit is giving them high self-esteem, making them to believe in themselves. It will also inspire them. Of course, you can see the likes of Toby and Musan. So sports is not only for men, it's also for women. So it's going to cost us a lot. So we're already engaging the Niger Delta stakeholders and also the senators in FCT and all that. Okay, so we are hopeful.
Okay, now, Mbagwa, I know in Nigeria, as much as we are also thriving very hard to develop our sports, but of course I know there are still some, you know, one or two challenges here and there that we are yet to surmount. Now tell us, what are some of these challenges that you're facing in trying to, you know, bring up these girls, you know, give them that confidence that they so, you know, desire? Okay.
Some of our major challenges among others is lack of facilities. Then we also have lack of basic equipment for the game of basketball. Even the balls, that is the commonest thing that you know, we hardly have enough to go around. In basketball, if you're having a group of like 20 or 30 children to train, you are supposed to have a minimum of 20 balls or 15. But in most cases, we have challenges. For 20 children, we will be seeing us with 3 balls, 4 balls. It's always difficult for us to be able to train them properly with those numbers of balls. Because if you are going to train girls, especially the basic fundamentals of basketball like dribbling, passes and all that, we need a child to be to be with one ball, or at most 2 children to one ball. And these are some of the challenges. Then again, there are some other facilities that we don't have, like the basketball racks, ball racks, all those things. You hardly see them on our courts in Nigeria. It's as if it's rocket science. If you go to some other places, if you enter the basketball indoor or the basketball court, you see what they call basketball racks, where they keep balls like a basket. You hardly see them around. If you go to almost everywhere in Nigeria, you hardly see them. So some of these things are very, very necessary. Then even the playing gears, shoes, the basketball jerseys and all that, it's always limited. We have been faced with these challenges. So we'll be very, very happy and glad if we have people that can assist with some of these things, especially balls, basketball canvas, then other things like that. Then in terms of facility like basketball courts, you hardly find them around. For instance, if you want to do your program in particular places, you may have to reschedule or change your plan because you may not have the facility around the area. So you now start bringing people from places like Abaji to have to come to the middle of the city to be able to have facilities to do your program. So these are some of the challenges we've been facing in sport in Nigeria, especially basketball.
In the face of this challenge, how have you been able to cope with the, training these girls?
Yes, it has made training a bit difficult for us, but by the grace of God, we're managing. Like I said, we manage with what we have. If we have 20 children or 30 children, and we have just 3 balls, we have no option. We'll just look for a way to devise other plays or other training that will suit 6 people or 5 people to a ball, and just keep managing, like hoping for improvement.
Okay, now back to you, Tracy. I know you said you're catching them young, which means some of them you need the permission of their parents.
Yeah.
Okay, so how has it been for you, trying to convince their parents to allow their kids to go into football?
Okay, right now we are focused on awareness. Awareness is the first thing you do when you start a program. It's also about sensitizing and educating them on the benefits of sports. So we started with our online awareness. And also, we'll soon kickstart officially visiting the secondary schools. So we are starting from secondary schools.
Okay, have you had? I know you already have some girls you're training already. Like how many?
No, we've not started training.
Okay,
officially.
not started training officially.
We are just on the awareness stage, which is the first stage when you start a project.
Oh, okay.
Because if people are not aware, they cannot even train.
Okay. Now we'll take a short break now. The conversation will continue after the break. Don't go away.
Implementation of the ruling is also dependent on another aspect or another arm of government.
Nowhere in the world will allow under digital economy for banks not to be dispensing domestic currency in that economy.
What will make this one different?
We want to know what they do as occupation. All of these are attributes that our questions have been designed to investigate.
In a few days to come, you see that we are all around their own crannies and everywhere in Nigeria, telling people to cooperate.
Welcome to Nigeria Today.
Welcome back. This is still Nigeria Today, and we're looking at the empowerment initiative for girls. And of course, I have a lady and a gentleman here in the studio. Now, Tracy, tell us, you just have to tell us the benefit of this initiative for girls out there, and also for parents out there that want to, okay, what exactly can we benefit, can my child benefit from this?
One of the benefits is eradicating poverty. There is hunger in the land. People are suffering. Even the average family is struggling to feed. So by the time we harness this young talent and export them to America, you all remember Hakeem Olajuwon, the Dream, who was a Lagosian. He was discovered in Lagos, and he was now exported to America, where he became a Hall of Famer and played in NBA. And is still one of the basketball players of all time, the biggest of all time. So one of the benefits is that they are going to get scholarship, and also we are going to work on our initial contact to make sure that they get scholarship and also play in American basketball teams. Because America is the destination. America is the hub of basketball. Just like I said, if we get enough funding, we will replicate what we are doing in Abuja in other states, not just in Niger Delta, just like Northeast. IDP camps. You know Boronu girls, the Hausa Fulani girls, they are very tall with their pointed nose. So we can actually get tall girls. Being tall is an advantage, is an endowment that is needed for basketball. So we can actually get these Hausa girls that are very tall. And you know what is happening in IDP camps? You know the aftermath of crisis and wars. Women and children are the most affected. So it's also a way of lifting them off the streets, giving them a sense of belonging, empowering them, inspiring them, making them to believe in themselves and dream bigger.
Okay, now I want to hear from you, Coach. Now she's talked about height. What of people that are not so tall and they're interested in this basketball?
Yes.
What opportunities do they have?
They still have opportunity. We have provision for everybody. Like we normally say it, like you said it too. Height is just an added advantage. It does not stop a short person from playing. Just like in football that you know, let me use the popular one that you know, people that play position 10, they are the ball distributors. In basketball also, we have the people who call point guards. They are usually the shortest people on most teams. So that means there's provision for every height. The advantageous part of it is that with your height difference, what a short person will stressfully do, you just do it stresslessly. That's just different, but there's provision for every height to play basketball, as long as you're interested. And again, we have also even discovered that the shorter people have larger hearts than the taller people. It's so in basketball.
But larger heart, what do you mean by that?
They have the kind of mind. You say a shorter person, you have mind, he wants to climb the tallest person. And you'll be like, wow, how is he going to do that? But we'll have guys like that can do so. Short people have their space. They have their own opportunities.
Now, also tell us what opportunities are bound for basketball players, like the girls you're training now.
Okay, there are a lot of opportunities for them. For instance, some of them, after being discovered here, they can also, after being redefined in some other countries, when we've given them the opportunity to be scouted outside, they can come back and play for our country. Then again, whenever we talk about international representation, it doesn't necessarily mean you must play for your national team. There are competitions that, if we finish this program now, and maybe the winners of this program, we can send them on a trip to go and play, it just maybe like interclub championship in another country. That is also a benefit. You are indirectly representing Nigeria and yourself. So there are a lot of benefits. Now, being showcased outside is one of the benefits. Then you also gain a lot of things as a female player through you. There is job in basketball. You can be signed into a team. You can be given job in a sporting club also. So there are a lot of benefit for girls in basketball.
Okay, you talked about the age limit, right?
Yes.
From what age to what age again?
15 to 23. The younger, the better.
Oh,
because
the younger,
we are
better.
looking at how we'll get them scholarship in America and also in American basketball teams. So the younger, the better.
Is it just America? You actually
America is the hub of basketball. America is the destination. Let me give you another example. The Tigress. 90% of female basketball players in the Tigress are all resident in America. Even the female coach is an American brought up. So that doesn't mean if they get opportunities in other European countries, just like football, when you scout them, they play in Europe. But America is the hub of basketball, so America is the destination.
You seem to be targeting, looking at basketball. After the basketball, what next?
Basketball is actually a huge project, so it will take us some time because we're not only doing it in one state, we're doing it in various states in Nigeria. So after basketball is football.
Okay, what state and what? Right now you're starting from Abuja.
Abuja, yeah.
So what state next do you have in
Delta
your
State.
mind? Okay.
Delta State. After Delta State, Boronu. That's why we are looking at getting support from Northeast Development Commission when we get to Boronu.
Oh, okay.
We're focusing on IDP camps.
Any international partners?
Yes, we have written to them, so we are hopeful.
You've told us about the scope of the program. So how do you intend to cover all these areas?
Like I said earlier, it's a huge project. It will cost us, but we'll do it because this is the only way to give people hope, give them a sense of belonging. You can see what is happening in Niger Delta. environmental degradation, gas flaring, oil spillage. You always tell the women, go and farm. Where do you want them to farm? Even their river. So how do you want them to farm? How do you want them to have something doing? They have been socially dislocated. So this is one of the programs that will engage them, give them hope, empower them, and lift them off the streets.
Okay, now, Coach, you talked about, where I want to believe that you already have, a training ground where you want to train these. Do you have, facilities that you provided already on ground that you can use to train these girls? Even though you said, of course, we have some challenges, but how prepared are you?
Yes, in terms of the readily available ones, we are kind of prepared. Like I said, we'll keep making use of the existing ones while we keep praying to have more. We have a playground where we'll start training whenever, as we're planning to kickstart. Now we'll have a place where we train them. We have some few balls already, but we need more balls. If I plenty balls, then we need playing shoes, canvas. It's one of the stuff. Then we also need their playing gears like jerseys, training bibs, and all that. Particularly that balls. They also need cones. That thing they call cones. I don't know if you know it.
I don't know.
Training cones are placed like this, like this, for them to dribble in between. It's called cones. So we need all of these items. You understand? Then we have a place where we can manage for now, while we hope for more facilities to be provided.
Now, okay, you apart from these states you've mentioned, do you intend going further to other states? Because it's a very wonderful, initiative.
Yes. Let me tell you one more thing that inspires me to love this project. It will give women a sense of belonging. It will give them, it will inspire them and motivate them. Look at the Toby Amosan, who is a global recognized figure. Now, look at what President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is doing, including women in decision making in his government. So, the next Miss Amnesty Nigeria may actually become a representative of the government. So, we're not just looking at the financial benefits, we are looking at the global recognition, especially where the country will be proud of them, where they will become future ambassadors of tomorrow.
Okay, is there any hope of also giving some boys the opportunity?
Embargo should answer that.
Embargo, please help us out with that.
Yes, gradually.
Of course, there are also a lot of boys out there that would love to be basketball players.
Yes, even in the IDP camp that she mentioned, there are a lot of boys too. Like as she's starting now, gradually we'll see if there is the need for boys to be also incorporated. We'll definitely do that. I'll personally beg her to include that. That won't be a problem. Our major focus is girls. For now, we know. Okay. But gradually, we'll see how we...
I was just saying.
Yes.
Now, what's your message for the girls out there that, about this whole initiative?
Okay, as someone who has empowered women over the years, one of the major problems of young women is believing in themselves. They sometimes lose self-confidence, maybe because of upbringing or what they have been through. Mostly they lose hope. You can see how the Japa syndrome is quickly increasing. People want to leave the country. There's hunger in the land. People are suffering. They want to go to other countries for greener pastures. So this is one of the programs that will give people hope to even come back to Nigeria. Let's say when these young girls that we're going to harness, they go over to America. Remember, sports and music are the highest paid profession in the world. So when they start earning, they will even come back to even invest and expand the basketball sports.
Thank you so much.
Yes, so they should believe in themselves, have self-confidence, and believe in our country, Nigeria.
Thank you so much. Yes, we must believe in our country, Nigeria. Now, thank you so much. That was Tracy Macquarie, the CEO of Tracy Macquarie Foundation, and the founder, Miss Amnesty Nigeria. Thank you so much for coming on the program.
My pleasure.
And also Joseph Alhassan Nbago, the lead coach of the program. Thank you so much for your time and your contribution.
Thank you.
And thank you for being part of the program. Remember, Nigeria Today airs every weekday at 7:30 p.m. on NTA News 24. You can also check out this episode and others at www.youtube.com/NTA News 24 Hub. I'm your carrier, Clinton. Goodbye.